name is Queen Jahneen, and so grateful to be here. I'm a former employee of One Life Institute, and I'm a writer, radio producer, and I have a show on KPFA called Chocolate Octave that airs monthly, midnight to 2 a.m. So this is a little different for me. I'm used to being on the other side of the microphone. So I want to thank you in advance for opening your hearts and your minds to this piece. It's called Balance, the Resurrection of the Divine Feminine. There is a mass of plastic and garbage floating in the ocean the size of Texas. I repeat, there's a mass of plastic and garbage floating in the ocean the size of Texas. And it started before the invention of plastic. It started with a superiority complex that gave rise to the transatlantic slave trade, the slaughter of the indigenous, and the subjugation of women. The healers, medicine men, and priestesses, all forced to give up their natural ways through violence, mandated to put down their souls and pick up foreign practices, robotic, manufactured, disconnected. Children of nature were required to disown themselves, tricked into hell with a minimally furnished jail cell, with bread, water, and a King James version of the Bible. Unable to defend the land, watching its value drop and drop as unruly criminals hog and squat, scheme, and plot for the pleasure of their sins to be made readily available to them without the nuisance of consequence. For lust, endless thrust to be appeased again and 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 again ad infinitum. For gluttony, envy, and greed to lead. For the bottomless pits to feed. Mortals whose time lasts but a minute, demanding the treatment of the infinite. I can make the servants of God and earth serve me, redirecting energy to inflate the illusion of superiority, creating a society living under prescribed illusion and fantasy, white picket fences and daisies, white teeth and lilies, all grinning at the fallacy of white and male supremacy that will force all to smile, nod, and agree under the threat of being punished severely. We are the greatest as oil wastes in the sea. We are superior as the air is now polluted and dusty. We are the natural leaders as species after species leave wondering what happened to the natural caretakers, the rainmakers, the dancers, and the drummers. All forced to reject Mother Earth, called sinners and heathens for honoring the divine feminine, for acknowledging the essence of intuition, isolation, execution, crucifixion. But hold on for the coming resurrection. Remember, there's a mass of plastic and garbage floating in the ocean the size of Texas that didn't start with the invention of plastic. It started with the invention of hatred and chasing the non-existent, ever-elusive lust for power and conquest. Fueled by anything that suggests one type of human being above another type is fallacy, therefore dehumanizing and therefore lying. Supported by forcing creative beings to disown their true identities, the internal broken family of humanity. Mother Nature has been neglected for competition and one-upsmanship, more important than a flower, a sunset, or a rainforest, or the true security that comes from the reality of similarities, worthy of two-way respecting rather than one-way worshiping. It took hundreds of years of unnecessary destruction, industrial commercialization of a civilized nation, for the consequences to come knocking, asking for payment of the hatred heat bill that kept rising, unchecked by the cooling of feminine energy. But hold on, a change is coming, the resurrection of the divine feminine, to save all of humanity and heal the internal broken family of inner male, female, and offspring. To balance our inner masculine, we need to plan, act, give, and speak. To balance our inner feminine, we need to identify feelings, meditate, listen, and receive. To balance our inner children, we need to play, visualize, and express our creativity. Balance our internal frequencies so that self-knowledge outshines the clouds of self-doubt. Self-love drowns out self-hatred, and self-creation transforms self-destruction. Because the truth for humanity is that difference is still equality. I am that I am infinite expressions of diversity. Loyalty to truth maintains flow, balance, and equilibrium. For our different individual mathematical equations are all equal to one.